exam starts now.
What is up guys, so we've got some hands-on images of the Galaxy S25 Plus alongside some other interesting and rather enigmatic leaks. So let's start with the second One UI 7 beta update and dive right in. The second beta update for One UI 7 just released and it's brought subtle but refined improvements. Some minor UI design flaws have been addressed, some have been introduced, and some have been improved upon. During the internal testing of One UI 7, we got some very beautiful animations on a particular XKN version that did not make it to the first beta. And people quickly made it known to Samsung that they'd prefer the animations in that version to come back, and they listened and introduced that animation back. This basically means that the S25s would launch with a much more refined user interface compared to the S24s on One UI 6, which is a very amazing thing. Unless you went for the online exclusive colors with the S24 Ultra, you'd be quick to find out that the default color options were a little bit dull. For some reason, these companies aren't quite interested in giving us cool colors again. Anyways, the same can be said for the S25 series. Unfortunately, the colors don't sound very interesting. Apart from the Silver Shadow, which sounds like the name of a villain from a Japanese horror ninja movie that probably gave some of the Samsung execs nightmares, and an ice blue color that sounds as close as you can get to the word ice cube while avoiding some sort of copyright thingy. Unless you're going for the online options, there's nothing really too interesting with the colors. The only color I'd like to see is the titanium jet black, which kind of reminds me of the iPhone 7 that had a glossy aluminum finish. So I'm curious to see how Samsung is going to pull this off on a smartphone that is meant to have a matte back but with a glass material. I think we'll just wait to see what they have in store for us. Apparently, the S25 Ultra would have the thinnest bezel we've ever seen in a flagship device. It's going to be thinner than its predecessor. It's going to be thinner than the Xiaomi 15 and the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which at this point is simply ridiculous considering how minuscule those phones' bezels already are. And with the Xiaomi 15's 1.38mm thick or thin borders, depending on how you see it, its bezels are pretty much non-existent. So I'm curious to see how Samsung is going to pull this off. But anyways, no complaints. Very sleek designs are most definitely welcome. So Samsung phones have had wireless charging for almost a decade now. They introduced it first with the Galaxy S6 in 2015, but leaks suggest that the S25s would support Qi 2 standard. So what exactly is Qi 2? Well, it's basically a faster and more efficient form of wireless charging compared to the original Qi standard. And while Qi 2 isn't exactly the same as MagSafe, which was introduced by Apple in 2020, it shares a very similar architecture to MagSafe, and in fact is actually based off of MagSafe. The benefit of Qi 2 is that it offers up to double the max speed of the original Qi standard at 15 watts, and the implementation of magnets means that your devices can perfectly align with the coils of the wireless charger, which in turn means no energy is lost, no heat is generated, and it improves charging efficiency as much as it can. Samsung, however, isn't entirely going all in with its implementation of Qi 2, as at this point it seems like they would provide phone cases with built-in magnets to take advantage of the Qi 2 standard. It doesn't yet appear that the devices themselves would have magnets built into them. Well, at least not the way your current device has a built-in like and subscribe button you can hit if you're enjoying this video. This has to be the one feature I'm most curious about. You see, Samsung introduced Bixby way back in 2017, and with the launch of the S8 series at the time. But Bixby had always had its fair share of ups and downs. It was always in a battle with its closest rival, Siri, to win the second position spot in a one-man competition absolutely dominated by Google Assistant. But on a shocking turn of events, Apple took the cheap way out by directly integrating ChatGPT into Siri in a bid to make it smarter, I guess. But Ice Universe recently made a post suggesting that Samsung has grown so much with Bixby that Bixby is going to be a major highlight of the S25 series, and I cannot wait to see Samsung bring Bixby back from the dead.
I'm thinking I'm back!
Leaked photos of the S25 Plus reveals that Samsung might have had too much apple juice to drink, as we behold what seems to be a camera control button. But fortunately, in the name of all things honorable, Samsung isn't copying that yet. It appears to be an antenna for the 5G millimeter wave tech that is comfortably designed to look like Apple's new not a button camera control button. Also, word on the street is that there is a possibility that Samsung might go Apple's route by getting rid of the physical SIM card slot for the US designated models in favor of eSIM technology. But I'd advise that you take this information with a grain of salt, just as we've kindly provided next to the subscribe button, because we don't know for sure if this is going to actually happen. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, do subscribe, leave a beautiful like and comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.